Question 6.35 asks us to calculate the composition of each of the following solutions in percent mass over mass. And in order to do that, we're going to need the formula for percent mass over mass. So percent mass over mass is going to be the mass of the solute in grams. So we'll put here mass of solute in grams divided by the mass of solution, also in grams, and then we're going to multiply that by 100% to get our percent mass over mass. So if we take a look at A, it says we have 21.0 grams of sodium chloride in 1.00 times 10 to the power of 2 grams of solution. So that's 21 grams of sodium chloride in 100 grams of solution. So if we just use the formula, so percent mass over mass is going to be equal to the mass of our solute. Our solute is sodium chloride. So 21.0 grams of our ionic compound, sodium chloride, divided by the mass of our solution, which is 1.00 times 10 to the power of 2 grams of our solution. Then I multiply that whole thing by 100%. Okay, and I should have 3 significant figures in my final product. This is one that's pretty easy to do by mental math because 100 and 100 are going to cancel out, and we end up with 21.0% sodium chloride. Moving on to B, it says we have 21 grams of sodium chloride in 5.00 times 10 to the power of 2 milliliters of solution, but then they've given us the density of that solution. And if you remember, the formula says that we need the mass of the solution in our denominator. So I think the first thing we should do is figure out what the mass of the solution is. And in order to calculate that, you need to know the formula that density is equal to mass over volume. And we can rearrange that to solve for mass. So mass is going to be equal to density multiplied by volume. And luckily, we've been given both of these. So the density of the solution is 1.12 grams per milliliter. And we have the volume of the solution, which is 5.00 times 10 to the power of 2 milliliters. You can see that the volume units are going to cancel out, and I'm going to end up with the mass of the solution in grams. So when you put that in your calculator, you end up with 5.60 times 10 to the power of 2 grams. So there should be 3 sig figs in that mass of solution. So now we can just use our formula that we have on the top right of the slide. So we'll put our percent mass over mass is going to be equal to the mass of the solute, our 21.0 grams of sodium chloride. We've gone ahead and calculated the mass of the solution, which is 5.60 times 10 to the power of 2 grams. We multiply that by 100%. And when you punch that in your calculator, you should have 3 sig figs in your final answer, and it should be 3.75% sodium chloride. So that gives you a little bit of practice on calculating percent mass over mass.